Hello everyone, it's Calaveras 32 Special again, back out in the garage with my welding setup, trying to repair what broke on my bench last time I tried to haul it back in the room. If you followed my Instagram, you'll see that one set of legs, these were completely folded down flush to the bottom of the shelf. Once I got it back outside, I've straightened it back out for the most part. How I am fixing it, I have some more 1¼ by 1¼ by 1/8 angle iron. I'm taking the legs off so that way I don't have to work with it on the unit. And I'm welding the angle iron to the outside of the existing legs. And then drilling the holes, drilling matching holes, using the existing holes in the existing leg as a template through the angle iron. Sorry about that. I had a couple kids walking by school, let out, and they got dropped off by the bus. Didn't want to catch anyone's kid in the image. So yeah, that's for once. The other two are already done, but they're on the ground already, so I don't want to lift this thing back. And this has already got some of the hardware removed. So basically, instead of the less than 1/16 of an inch thick angle being the strength will come from these 1/8 inch thick pieces of angle iron. So actual extruded steel versus stamped sheet metal should be much stronger. It'll have all the same bolt holes, so everything will bolt right back in place. And from the factory, the kit came with these really low quality, very soft metal button head machine screws. I'm replacing these button head screws with hex head bolts, so that way I'm not stripping screw heads as I'm trying to secure these. It's a much stronger attachment point. Alright, I'll show you the next step in just a few seconds. I wanted to show you guys, before it's painted, what I was talking about before, where you have the thin stamped sheet metal old leg and the 1/8 inch angle iron reinforcement. How it is welded in a few places down the length of the leg. Because the amount of stress this is going to take, it doesn't need to have a continuous weld down the entire length plus rosettes and everything else. It's a reinforcement on an existing leg for the bench. I have 35 inches, the reinforcement's 35 inches long. That's enough to go down almost all the way to the floor, just shy of where the plastic foot goes, will come up to, so that way the metal end doesn't damage the carpet. And it comes up to even with the top of the black particle board that was the original factory top. If you remember, I put a secondary top on it. So it's 4 welds up either side, 3/4 of an inch to an inch long each. It's nothing, it doesn't have to be exact. And now this table is a little bent, so I'm having to work it a little bit to get these lined up, because it wants to spring out different directions. So I started by putting these bolts here, which are part of one of the angle braces I put in last time, and then had to push it, drop one bolt in on the bottom, push the top into alignment, drop one bolt in, and then go back and forth. So that way, until now I have all of them started. None of them have nuts on the bottom, but they're all in their holes, so that way I know everything will line up. And even without being tightened up, it's already pretty solid, so this should be a good gun bench. I'd like to thank everyone for stopping by the channel. If you want to see more of my content, I encourage you to check out my website, Calaveras32special.com. Links below in the description. I also encourage you to check out gunchannels.com. Online, two-way community, set up and operated about 5 years ago at this point, by G-Webs, or Mr. Gun Websites. He is a avid activist for, our two-way rights, so that's where I encourage you to stop by there, as well as his website, gearwebsites.com, where where a lot of his financing comes from, to help him, fight for our rights. I hope you guys are, willing to stop by, both of those websites. Oh, and before I get on mine, I have my Spreadshirt store link and my Patreon link over there for anyone who is so inclined as to helping out the channel. Much appreciated. And anything I decide any money I get over there, I'll be putting back into the channel, and I'll be giving my patrons a chance to chime in as to what they think I should be using it on. I want to say again, thank you very much for stopping by. Have a wonderful night.